I'm sure you have heard people say, don't believe in your thoughts, you're not your thoughts. It's been around for me for a while. I think I have seen it on Instagram many times. I have heard people talking about it, but I kind of understood the concept that only until now it became very clear, and I had to invest a little time to fully understand what it meant. I think something inside of me knew that it made sense. Like, okay, yeah, I shouldn't believe in my thoughts, but a little part of me was also like, they are mine, they're in my mind. How I'm not gonna believe myself? If you have been following my channel, you probably know now that I'm starting a business guided by my intuition. I like to share everything that I've been experiencing and learning through my journey of starting a business guided by my intuition. Let's break down this idea of our thoughts not being real, of us not needing to believe in our thoughts. In my process of self-discovery, understanding my purpose, what I wanted in life, who I was, one of the practices that became very important for me, and one of the main practices that I still practice, it's meditation. I don't like using the word meditation because I think it creates a little separation for people. People that doesn't identify as a spiritual person right away, it's like, meditate, I don't want to meditate. So just creating a practice that allowed me to quiet my mind, to be connected to my experience, to the moment, how my body was feeling, and the things that were happening in my mind. When we have this kind of practice, we start realizing that our mind sometimes can get very busy. You don't even have to have a practice, a meditation practice. One of my coaches has a really nice way to call meditation. He says neutrality practice. And yeah, you don't even have to have one to realize, to notice that sometimes our minds are very busy, very loud. We have too many thoughts. And the thing, when we are intentionally paying attention to what's happening in our mind, to the thoughts we're thinking, we start realizing that those thoughts that we have in those moments are just like not great thoughts. It's not like you're being so peaceful and loving. Usually what's happening is that our minds get into this very analytical state. So we are just trying to figure out things and to understand things. So when we have those states, those moments of our minds being super active, what's happening is that our mind went into the analytical state. And I'm not gonna get too deep into neuroscience, but how our brains work. So it's a survival mechanism when we get into the analytical mind. And this is something that we are not gonna find in many books, we are not gonna find in many places, we are not gonna hear many people talking about it, but this is something that I am reminding you right now. It's something that your inner you, your soul, name it the way you want, knows it. And it's that we don't even have to think. I know, they're probably like, wait, what is she talking about? If we go back to the concept of analyzing being a survival mechanism, we humans, we have the ability to think, but we just don't know. No one has been teaching us. That's why little by little we have been, expanding our collective consciousness. We now, after the many years that we have already after the pandemic of having a lot of people working on themselves and focusing a lot on mental health, we are normalizing all these things. We stress out, we get a lot of anxiety. It's because we don't know how to use our minds, right? So Yes, we don't even have to think. We humans have the ability to think, and we humans have the ability to create. Animals also have, nature has the ability to create. But how we should use our minds, the right way how we can take advantage of how amazing our minds is, it's just by being present and creating. But we haven't learned, we are still learning how to be present, because we learn the survival way of using our mind, thinking, thinking, thinking. So a little bit of how it used to be, you probably already know this, you understand what I'm gonna say. We used to run away from animals that were going to kill us, right? So now we do the same in our day-to-day lives. We run away, we have to solve problems, stressful situations, or fight with our parents, siblings, partners, friends at work. We have to run away. So we live a lot, and we have normalized a lot the states of survival. And that's how we still, humanity, we haven't normalized being, not many of us, of course, we have here for many years. There are monks and big meditators around the world that have been aware of this and have been taking care of their minds, using their minds in, I want to say, the proper way. But now is the time. Now is your time. It's my time. It's our time to really understand how to use our minds and to really enjoy how to use our minds. We are missing so much. All the time that we spend in the survival state of analyzing, thinking, and overthinking, we are missing out of all the possibilities that there are in creative states. If you go back to moments where you have been creative, let's think about a moment that you're planning a surprise for your parents, your boyfriend, your partner, your friends. You want to surprise them on your birthday with something very special. That's usually when we get into, that's a good example of how when we get into creative states. Usually you're coming from a place of love, of excitement. You want to make that person happy. And how many options do you have? Right? Infinite. So we could live in those states through our days if we know if we learn how to use your minds. So going back to the idea of our thoughts not being real, the concept, the idea, the phrase that people share about don't believe in your thoughts, it's because, again, a lot of what we have been allowing in our minds, into our minds, are not good things. We are not choosing. We are not really choosing what we want to think. If we take the example of planning a birthday, a surprise for your loved one, everything that you're allowing your mind to think, to create, I'm sure it's very positive and it's very beautiful, and it comes from this place of love. So that's the way how you can start creating everything you do in your life. You want to be in those states. A little example of the things that I've been doing to train my mind to cultivate an environment, a life that allows me to be in those states. A little example, this morning it happened to me and I was like, there you go. This is why I'm very protective. This is why I've been doing so much to create the life I want to live, to experience life the way I want. And this is something that happens to us. It doesn't happen only to me. It happens to us all the time. And it's a very small, simple thing, but it can affect so much the state of our minds. I don't watch news. It's I think November 6th, the day after the elections in the United States. I know, I'm aware that what's happening, But I woke up this morning very excited to watch the sunrise. We just changed time, so the sunrise is a little earlier, an hour earlier, and I've been kind of catching up with the sleep. I've been a little tired, but today I took myself out of the bed to really, it's something that is very special. It gives me a lot of beautiful energy in the mornings to continue my day. So I went to the beach and I had this precious, special moment. It's an hour. I did yoga. I had, some cacao and a beautiful experience with a lot of birds flying around me while I was doing yoga. And when I was walking back to the house, so I try, before I start working, I try to have some time for myself. Like either I go to the beach and do a little yoga there and a little breathwork meditation, or I go to the gym. I love starting my day when I prioritize myself first. And then little by little I start working, and I don't watch news in the morning. I don't have many interactions in the morning, I would say. I had this beautiful moment at the beach, and when I was walking back to the house, I received a call from a friend, and I was like, let's say hi. I usually don't take calls in the morning because I'm in that wonderful space of being with myself, being connected with the start of the day, and I'm just like taking in all these beautiful things. It's just later during the day that I see, to start working, and then I start getting receiving calls, taking calls. But I was like, let's say hi to my friend, and the first thing that she wanted to share, like, I love my girlfriend so much, and we just have different, let's say, mentalities, practices. But the first thing that she shared with me was about news, about what happened with the elections yesterday. And she started sharing, with all the emotions that that event is creating for her. Like, she was sharing her experience. And I was like, I had to say goodbye to my friend. But I was like, no. If I allow all this information in my mind right now, my mind is going to activate, and it's going to try to analyze a lot of things, and it's going to get busy with all this subject. So it was one of those things that I was like, I love my girlfriend, I really want to say hello, but I really want to continue with my day. So it was just a moment of awareness. I said goodbye to my girlfriend, and I was like, yeah, it's important, we go back to I share about this in my channel too, about setting up boundaries, and the most important ones are the boundaries we set up with ourselves. So I'm still training my mind to be strong enough to just be present. I feel like I'm still at a place where things can get me out of that presence. So a short example of things that happen to us through the days, and we just, let's say, we might not have still strong boundaries with ourselves. We allowed a lot of things to come into our experience. So that's how our mind gets very activated, and we start believing all the things that because we are not present. We are not choosing to be present, and we don't know how to be present. That's something that I want to emphasize. Like, I am training myself because it's not easy. When you have been going to the gym for 5 years and you know exactly how to move your body to get the results you want. At first, like, I'm new to lifting weights. I've been a yoga, Pilates person, on body weight kind of workout, low intensity workouts, and now I'm exploring, working out with weight. And I feel like a little child, like a 5 years little girl learning something, but I'm sure in a couple of months, hopefully, like, I will just know exactly what I have to do. It's the same thing with our minds. There's not a difference between how we train our minds and how we train our bodies. So just to summarize a little bit, that concept, that idea of don't believe everything you think, the reason why we shouldn't do that is because a lot of the things that most people think are not things that we are choosing to think. It's just loops of survival, a survival mechanism trying to figure out information. And what they really mean is that I guess those sentences, those things that they share, they don't explain that the way we should be using our mind is creating a state of creation. As the example I gave you about creating a surprise for your loved ones, to surprise them on their birthdays, right? So I invite you, if you feel inspired by this video, just to start paying attention through the day how you experience life, to pay a little attention of the things that are in your mind. You can take notes, you can journal. I'm a big fan of journaling. You can record notes, voice notes. We all are super different, so maybe you have a very strong mind and memory. I don't remember many things, so for me that's why journaling it's really helpful. But become the student of your mind, of your experience, of you. We get so obsessed and we spend a lot of time in getting to know other people, in learning how other people are and how we can make them like us, how to be liked and approved by others. And we spend very little time learning about who we are, who we truly are, how we truly function, how we truly operate. So I hope you feel inspired to start being the student of your life, of yourself, of your mind. And yeah, if you already have been doing some of the things that I'm sharing on this video and you would like to share your experience, I will be super happy to learn from you. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next video, peace and love.